Okay.
So, hi Ellie.
Hi, Ashley.
Um, we're we're doing I'm doing an avatar, hanging out in the Garden of Eden.
Yes.
As Yeah, that's definitely my ideal garden right there. Um, and Ellie is got audio only just because she's tired and she's been working all day, and I'm pretty much the same way, so it's all good. So we're just
Yeah.
gonna hide our faces and and just chat and feel more comfortable and more comfortable this way. But it was really we really wanted to do this on July 6th because July 6th is the special day in Ellie's novel, A Garden in Eden, which Heavy Crown Press has published to Kindle. And I'm actually going to share my screen just for a second because I want to show I want to show you the website um, for Ellie's Magical Garden. Um,
Nice.
as you can see, we've got it on sale at Amazon, Apple iBooks, Barnes and Noble, and Kobo, and Scribd. And we've got my review here. I'll put the links. I'll put the links in the description. But I just wanted to show everybody what that looks like. So we'll stop sharing. We'll go back to this way. Now, I want to let Ellie talk. I do want to because I was looking at your book again, and I think the main thing that I really want to share with our viewers is the the poem in the book, which I just love. Um, and I actually marked it. But before we get that far, let's talk about you, Ellie. So you're actually you're not a psychologist yet, is that correct? But you're almost there, right?
Almost there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm doing my dissertation for my doctorate in psychology. And then after that, I need to do another 3,000 hours and take another couple tests in order to be a licensed psychologist. But right now, I'm licensed at the master's level. I'm a licensed professional clinical counselor. So, yeah, a whole bunch of
Yeah.
gobbledygook after the name.
Yes, I never,
Yes.
yeah, the LPCC, that's the master's degree. I get so confused because I feel like there's multiple degrees that people in psychology go
Yeah.
for. Like I know there's like MFT, right? Some of them have
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's marriage and family therapy. And when I was doing my hours for my master's, I was doing for both the MFT and the LPCC, but you needed like 500 couple and family hours, and I had like 50. And I'm like, you know what? I don't really feel like working with couples. I enjoy working with people like individuals. I work with chronically mentally ill individuals at a hospital. I do group therapy and individual therapy, and I really like that. So I said, you know what, I'm going to be a psychologist anyway. If I want to see couples at that point, then I will, but it's not like such a big thing, and I'll just do the LPCC for now. So, and then there's LCSW, which is a licensed clinical social worker. So it's kind of like all about the same thing, but just different lenses to the same issue, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah. So many different ways to tackle the brain, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. And the behavioral, yeah. It's fascinating. But so tell us about when you wrote A Garden in Eden and what that like kind of where that came from and how maybe how
Yeah,
you feel about it now?
yeah. I mean, I wrote this thing back in 2011, so It's been quite a while, but I remember I took, my daughter Aurora to this one park in Glendale where, my friends and I, when we were kids, we actually used to hang out with during the summer, and it was so weird because parts of the park, like, looked pretty much the same as when I played there, and I started to think, as I watched my daughter play, like, wouldn't it be so nice if you could, like, hang out with your childhood friends, but as kids again, where you could just take a break from adulthood every once in a while. It would be like the ultimate vacation, um, and just be a kid and say, "The heck with adulting. I'm just gonna be a child. I'm gonna play on the swings. I'm gonna go down a slide." Because I guess as an adult, you can do all that stuff, but people will look at you funny, you know? It's like unless you have, like, a little kid with you, but,
Oh,
just to have that freedom, and then I thought, wouldn't that be really, really cool if, like, there was, like a park or, like, a garden that would have everything that a kid would want, and, like, have a group of kids that would, meet up one day a year, actually 1 day every 5 years, and just go in and play and then kinda go back to their lives, and I actually, like, wrote the ending, um, before I wrote, like, the rest of the book just because I really, really like the idea of the ending and, like, I don't wanna do spoilers or anything, you have to read the
yeah.
book, but, I just, like, when I was driving the next day or the day after, just had this idea of, like, "Oh my gosh, imagine what that would be," and then I kinda, like, wrote the book, like, leading up to that. So, yeah,
Wow. Huh.
yeah.
That's awesome to think of writing the ending first and then kind of leading into that. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it either. But yeah, like I I love the fact that there's five friends and
Mhm.
of course it starts at wait, it is five, right? If I'm trying to because
Yes,
we got
yes, 5
Ralphie,
friends.
yeah, and Anna Marie or Anne Marie, Alex Marie. Yeah, sorry. I did read the book, I swear.
No, no, it's
But
okay.
I'm trying
It's
to
okay.
count the names, and then we've got Royal, which is an interesting name, but yeah, you got Royal, Alex Marie, um
Ralphie,
Ralphie.
um, Miles, and, Daisy.
That's it. Yes, yes.
Daisy.
And yeah, because to me, like when I read it, even though it's really it's nothing like Stephen King's It, but
Mhm.
to me, like it just always kind of like feels like it's just the pack of friends, you know.
Yeah.
And I think for them it's like seven, the lucky seven, but it just kind of feels the same because they all kind of come together and they're all like very troubled and they kind of form their own kind of little losers club. And it's kind of like that with your five. It's almost like, except Alex Marie, I guess she's kind of too perfect, you know. You're
Yeah,
like, why am I supposed to like you? No, I'm just kidding.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but like they all kind of have something um that they're dealing with, um and so but they come together and and I love the fact that they find this kind of ideal, like the garden in Eden is kind of it's kind of an analogy or even maybe an allegory, I guess, for like heaven. And
mhm,
it's like this perfect world, it's like this paradise, literally Eden. And
yeah,
they're frozen in this time of innocence and joy and purity and everything, and then they have to go back out in the world and deal with all this crap, you know.
mm,
But then they get this one day every 5 years and they get to be in paradise again and 10 years old, and it's just amazing. And like
yeah,
I just think like how kind of, even though it seems like it would be wonderful, how hard would that be to have that for one day every 5 years and then go back to being like an adult and having to, pay bills and, you know, deal with life, I don't
Oh
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And there's like a lot of symbolism in there too, like with the garden and like when one of the characters is trying to like climb up the that rock wall to get to the waterfall,
Yeah.
and what he's going through in his adult life. And
Mhm.
also that other time when I think Miles is having issues with his wife and it's like snowing,
Mhm.
it's like uh, I tried to like make a lot of symbolism and Daisy's name, like her sister is a flower too, and everything about her,
Yeah.
it's like floral. So I don't know, I kind of try to go on like deeper levels, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that. So let's look at the poem. And I love this because you obviously wrote this poem, and it might be one of my favorite little things just because it's so awesome. I mean, I could just imagine finding this on a door and being like, wow. Oh yeah, this is in the first part. So when they're still they're 10 years old when they first enter, and
Yes.
they find this on the door, and it says Um, a fountain of youth is for those who enter the door, but only one day every 5 years, never a minute more. 5 years from yesterday, five friends return to play, a moment captured in time, relived for just one day. For as you enter this door, transformed you will be to the age you first entered, then childhood eternally. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank
I
you.
love it. Yes, it's beautiful. So yeah, so everybody go read it. And yeah. Um yeah. All right. Did you have anything else you wanted to add? Or
No, not really.
not really?
Thank you
You're just
so
like
much, Ash.
I want to go to bed.
Well, I'm just curious, like, who is like your favorite character in the book? Like, any parts that like stand out most to you?
Oh, probably Ralphie, maybe.
Okay.
Um, Probably Ralphie because he's the one I feel like we get a lot from him, and um but it's like I'm kind of frustrated with him at the same time because I'm like, dude, just go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, takes you
Yeah.
long enough to go for the girl. Well, here we go. Can't spoil it. But yeah, he's that guy you just like, come on, man. Even when you grow up and you're not that bad looking and you make some money, it's like, you know,
Yeah.
you can make a move. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. But no, I mean, I think it's a great story, and I guess it's not entirely his fault because Alex Murray, kind of moves on pretty quickly. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway.
Yeah.
So, did you have any, like, was there a character that you related to more than another, or you were
No,
writing it?
not really. I mean, I think like there's parts of the character is like different parts of me. I don't know if that makes sense.
Or
There's a little bit of myself in each character.
mm-hmm.
Like Ralphie is like, he's a dreamer, and sometimes his own anxieties and insecurities hold him back. Alex Marie feels like pressured to be perfect all the time, and these people's expectations of her.
Mm.
Um, Royal, I guess, like, when you're like plagued with like depression or things, you kind of feel mistreated or something. That's a lot of the basis of his character. Um, Let me see. I think like Daisy and Miles. Um, just people who want to be seen, who want to be like part of the group. It seemed like they had to kind of form their own subgroup when they weren't part of the main group, if that makes sense. So,
Oh yeah. Uh,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I like you really deal with, the stuff with Royal. It's like, he's so smart and he's so capable, but he's just completely held back by his anger and his, just, all the pain that he just absorbed from his parents and everything, and he can't kind of get past that.
yeah.
But he needs a you. He needs an Ellie. He needs a
He's
Dr.
okay.
Ellie. Yeah.
We all need a therapist.
Yes. Yes. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So do you want to talk about your practice a little bit or not really? Or
Oh, sure, sure. I have a private practice here in Burbank. I'm mostly seeing people on Zoom. It just makes it easier. Um, I don't know, I treat people with depression, anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia, pretty much everything. Uh,
yeah. So
mhm.
Ellie, just for the viewers, you
Uh-huh.
graduated from Burbank High in I think 97?
97, go
97,
Bulldogs.
class of 97, and your daughter is about to graduate next year, right? 20
Yes, yes,
class?
she's gonna be class of 24. I can't believe it.
Wow. And
Yeah.
just for the viewers, to have an idea, I graduated in 1995 from the
Mhm.
same high school, and in my interview with Amanda,
Uh-huh.
another bulldog, um, I didn't I didn't remember, but she reminded me that she graduated the year after you,
Yes.
and I had completely forgotten that she was 1 year younger than you. But yeah, we were talking about in that interview, we were talking about the anniversary, and I think we couldn't quite get it straight, but you corrected us on Facebook. You said it was in 2008 that they had the
2000.
centennial. Yeah.
Yes, Burbank High had its centennial in 2008, and the city of Burbank had their centennial in 2011. So Burbank High School is actually 3 years older than Burbank, California.
Wow.
So, so
Wow.
it's kind of weird.
That is weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, and I remember because I think in 2008, um, I I don't think I was living in California then, but I was seeing your post on Facebook, and you were going to events for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was, and I specifically remember, I think you met Kim Fields because she was part of that, and
Yeah.
right? Or
Kim Fields was there. Also the guy who played Potsy on Happy Days. He knew my father-in-law because my father-in-law graduated from Burbank High in '68. So that was from his day. Yeah, I mean, there were
yeah,
a lot of people there. It was really interesting. They did
yeah.
tours, they had a football game at the school, they had a parade, they had oh my gosh, just they had a Hall of Fame event for all the athletes.
Hmm.
What else? It was a lot. It was a lot, but it was really cool to meet a lot of the people that went to the school. There weren't like a lot of people from our time, I guess, because it was only like, I don't know, a little over 10 years since graduation. So, people didn't really care
Yeah.
because they had all these tables set up, the people that graduated in the 50s and
Um,
60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. And I went over to the 90s table and nobody was there.
oh
It's like,
wow.
what the heck? Nobody cares. But maybe as we get older, we kind of care, right?
Oh yes, yes. Gosh, I just had a question about it. Oh, Mr.
Yeah.
Thompson, he was there, right?
Yeah, he actually organized the whole thing. I mean, he was in charge of organizing it, and he
Wow.
was there. He actually retired like the year before Aurora started high school. I was like, no, I wanted so badly for her to have Mr. Thompson. I
Oh,
mean, he was the best. And Miss Filer retired like years ago,
oh,
but yeah, I think the only ones that are still there are Mr. Sarquitz.
our least favorite.
I know.
I don't even care about saying that on YouTube. I don't even care because if you saw that, I'd be like, oh well. I'm sorry, but oh my God. The
I know.
grudge is still there. I can't help it.
I know. And I think Mr. Smith is still there. He was my chemistry teacher. But,
Oh, wow.
but yeah, I mean, everything is so different. It's so weird.
Every every girl fantasized about Mr. Smith, I'm sure.
Well, I
Right?
think most of them like Mr. Fitzpatrick. I mean, they thought he was
Oh,
like dreamy, and all the guys like Miss Santa Maria, she was, I guess, a math teacher that everyone fantasized over. So,
yeah.
but yeah, those were the days.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know who you're talking about the girl. Which who did they like?
I like Miss Santa Maria. I never had her, but I know like all my guy friends at the time were like, "Oh, Miss Santa Maria, she's so
The,
hot." I'm like, "Okay."
the girls though. You said
Oh,
somebody.
they like Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Right.
Excuse me, Fitzpatrick.
I just
I
never
think
met him.
some people like Mr. Margway. I mean, Mr. Margway was
Yes.
kind of, yeah, he was
He
he was
was,
a hunk.
yeah, I mean, he wasn't like all that great looking, but he was so kind and he just had such a I mean, I think I had a crush on him just because he was so kind and like he was just the sweetest, like, and so helpful and just so amazing. I like he really helped me with, you know,
Oh,
I loved him having him for biology. But
yeah,
yeah.
I
So
know.
is it awesome being friends with Miss Filer on Facebook?
Oh my gosh. I love her. I love seeing her live up her life and,
Yes.
do everything. And I love, like, sometimes I see, like, on Facebook, there's like, someone posts like a math question and Miss Filer will answer. And I'm like, I'm so tempted to say, trust her. She is right. She's 100% right. I
Oh,
know.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's
So
awesome.
there's Mr. Sarquiz, who I almost called him Dr. Sussman.
Dr. Sussman.
That's an inside joke. We're not gonna go into that. But
No,
anyway, we'll go into that
that'll
off
be another time.
yes. Anyway, Mr. Sarquiz, yeah, he's still there. And I'm gonna be very diplomatic. I'm sure he's a lovely man. Wait, I'm sure he's just wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway. Oh, Coach Davis, though. I mean, come on, he was amazing.
He was amazing. He's on my LinkedIn. I reached out
Oh,
to him. He is
oh,
a superintendent of another school district. I forgot which one. But yeah, he's on my LinkedIn and he remembers me, and I mean, he's just as sweet as can be. I loved him. And I
oh,
know he really liked the
invention.
assignment we did on the invention.
Yes, yes. Those little inventions we made up, the little ball that chases you around. I don't know, we were
Jeez, yeah,
so weird. Oh
I
my
know.
God.
Oh, he was cracking up. He was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I thought I could talk about Burbank High for hours. That's
me
so
too.
cool. That's so cool. I mean, so yeah, Mr. Sarquist, he's the only one left, I guess, from our day. And
Yeah,
yeah. Uh,
yeah, yeah. But I know, like, when you were talking to Amanda the other day about, can you believe it's been so long? It's so weird. It doesn't seem like it.
it doesn't. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what is Aurora doing there? I mean, do you mind talking about Aurora
Oh,
a
yeah,
little
yeah. So she's taken animation classes. She took animation one, she took animation two. Her sophomore year, she couldn't get into animation, so she took like regular art.
bit? Oh,
She's, wants to do tech theater next year. I'm like, oh my God.
wow. I'm sure it's improved tremendously from our day.
From
We-
with Todd.
Yeah, poor Todd, because I mean, I knew him before he ever went to teach that class because I was a volunteer at the Burbank Little Theater, and he was part of the
Oh,
actors company that worked at the Burbank Little Theater.
oh
And
my gosh.
Todd and I know each other. I was only like 14 when I started volunteering there, but they
Yeah.
just kind of took to me, and like Todd and this other guy named John Keating and Lance Roberts, they showed me how to do the lighting and the sound and the props and everything.
Oh,
And then when I
cool.
saw Todd walked in, like I guess he got some extra money by, having to basically be our babysitter at
Our
Burbank
babies.
High. I felt so bad for him. I mean, he hated it. He just
Oh
hated us. He just wanted like to fall under the earth or something and just
my
run away
God.
screaming, poor guy. We like
Oh my.
tormented him.
Oh,
But
remember the day that everyone had like a stuffed animal fight and
yes.
he was so upset?
Oh,
Oh my God. I felt so bad. I felt so
yeah.
ashamed.
I know, me too. I was like, oh my
Oh,
God, I hope he doesn't think that I like organized this because I
yeah.
tried to
Yeah.
stop it and they just kept, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But I
It
mean,
was
like,
just,
yeah.
yeah. I saw him a few years ago at the library, at the Burbank Library. He had
Oh,
written a book and he was there to promote it and he did this talk. And I was like, oh my God, it's Todd. And I like went up afterwards and said hi. And I'm like, do you remember me? And he's like, yeah. But I don't know if he really
yeah.
did or was just being
Maybe.
polite.
Yeah.
Who
Who
knows?
knows? Who knows?
But yeah, I mean, he looks the same. It
Oh, wow.
was like, oh my God.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, yeah, he's great. He's great. But yeah, those are great memories. I mean, I loved that year of high school that, we met in Sarkis's class and
Yeah.
you asked me for a piece of paper. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I love how you post that on Facebook every year. You're like, happy birthday to my friend Ashley, who asked me for a piece of paper in Mr. Sarquiz's class. And I was just like freaking out because these guys were making fun of me. And
Oh, yeah.
but
Oh, my
poor Aurora, like it must be so hard to be like kind of surrounded by all these legacies at Burbank High. Like she can't even do anything without all of a sudden all these adults around her are like going off on these memories. And she's just
God.
like, look at me, guys. This is about me.
Gosh, he's cool.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure, but she's just
Yeah.
like, who's the star here? Okay, who's the teenager here?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Aurora had something cool happen. So, like last week, she actually got to meet her best friend for the first time in person. So, I don't know if you remember Felicia
No.
Busto from high school. So she's like this professional artist and she teaches art lessons on Zoom. And so Aurora and this other girl who live in Colorado, they were on this art lesson together, and they meet like once a week or something like that. And they became like the best of friends. And they'll be on the phone till like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
I don't even know what they're talking about.
oh,
Who knows?
yeah, yeah.
Um, but they finally got a chance to meet last week in person because she flew in from Colorado, and they met up at a park, and were able to hang out, and Aurora was just like so happy. So it was really, really cool. And that's like her best friend. So pretty
That's
awesome.
awesome. She is just beautiful. I mean,
Aw,
I think I do agree with Amanda that she mostly looks like you, but she
aw,
has so much of like Jerry's coloring and like sometimes that expression on her face. I can like I just see like so much a mix of both you and Jerry, but like she's probably like, I don't know, maybe 85% you, I guess, at least. I don't know.
yeah.
Amanda would probably think it's more, but um I don't know. She's just beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. You guys did a good job.
Aw,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah, she's a cool kid.
Yeah. And she's still like she's got all her grandparents there in pretty much because Jerry's parents, I think they live in Sun Valley, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they live in Sun Valley, and then my parents, so, she
They're
has
kind of
family.
yeah. Where do your parents live again? I can't remember if it,
They live, like, in Sylmar.
oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so
Yes.
it's all good.
Yeah. So they live close enough, I guess, to come and see her plenty, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. So, yep.
Oh, yeah. It's very
Oh,
important to have the grandparents. Yeah.
true, that's true.
Grandparents are good. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and then she's got all the cousins on Jerry's side, and I'm sure. So, yeah. So you
yeah.
said she might do like graphic design or something in
Um,
college?
video
Video
game
games.
design,
Okay.
yeah. Because she was thinking animation, but she's like, oh, it takes so much work, and I'd rather do character development and story development. So she wants to do video game design.
Right.
So she's hoping, we'll see. We did a couple tours at Woodbury, and she really likes it there. And the only thing is they won't let you apply until your senior year because she tried to
Right.
do the application, and they're like, oh, you can't because you're not a senior yet. It's like, oh, come on.
Oh, yeah. That's a good school. That's a yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
And that's
but
close to home. Close to home, so she won't,
definitely,
yeah.
definitely. I get to have her all to myself for 4 more years, so I'm happy.
Yeah. Oh, I know you would freak out if she wanted to go to like, I don't know, uh
Yeah.
Hawaii or something.
Or NYU or something. I'd
Yeah.
be like, no.
No, no.
Yeah,
So,
that'd be good, but
oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll let you go now because I get the feeling you're very tired and
Oh,
thank you for talking to me. I really love your book and I believe in it and I
oh.
really think that it was great to touch base.
Thank you, Ashley. Good
Yeah.
talking to you too. And this was fun.
Yes, it was fun. I know. I think we should do this like I don't know every now and then.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I miss talking to you.
Me too. I know. I know. Sometimes, like, like we touch base a little bit on Facebook Messenger, and it's like, you try to steal a couple of moments or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do that sometimes. But yeah, one of these days we'll have to get together and chat about everything going on with the Royals. Oh, with the Crown.
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be so cool to like do like a live chat or
Yes.
something for like during like The Crown. I don't know.
Yes,
I don't feel very
yes, yes. I would be down for that for sure. I love The
yes,
Crown.
yes. And you read Spare, right? Just like
Yes, I read Spare.
oh my
Of
gosh.
course.